to do is make sure that we're properly transmitting. But other than that, we can start up. I just gotta where?
When do you think you can make the MP3 stuff?
So I do have episode 1 as an MP3. I just wish Pedro would tell me how to use that fucking program. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of the IronWolfpack podcast. Uh, Today we're joined by Kelsey, Jeff, and myself, Reed. And
My name's Jeff.
we may or may not run into a Pedro.
Yeah. It's like somebody crossing, like when they don't have the walk symbol and they have that stale orange hand that says "Don't walk." We might hit a Pedro. He's that guy who's like, "I got it." Well, you might want to take an earbud out of your ear and look up from your phone because you're about to get hit.
I'm very frustrated that he won't tell us what that program is for, anyways. Even if we don't use it,
I
I'm
know.
frustrated that he's just being an ass.
He's been being so weird today. And then I look at his own personalized website and he's got all the time in the world to write a fucking novel about like weight loss, but he doesn't have time to show us how to record things. Come on now.
Oh man. So Kelsey, you had a pretty good point of conversation that you brought up earlier today.
Well, I had a few,
Mm-hmm.
but one of them was, let's see. Tell us about a time when you screwed something up and no one ever found out that it was you.
I've been thinking about
Let me
this one
see.
and I still can't remember.
Hey, Kirsten. When's the time I screwed something up, but I didn't want anybody to know, or nobody found out it was me that screwed it up? Yeah, she's making the same face I'm making, which is a furrowed brow going, Jeff doesn't fuck shit up. I mean, I fuck shit up, but not like that, though.
Fuck shit up intentionally.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
I partied. Hoard.
I got one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Kelsey's the one with mic issues.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when I was about 7 years old, I was playing baseball by myself in the street, and I threw a baseball up and I hit it with the bat, and it rolled on the ground like super hard, straight and fast towards a window. And it was it was a open house, so like nobody lived in there, but they were trying to rent it out or sell it, and I totally shattered the window. And there was
Who?
a kid across the street that saw it, and I immediately took off towards him, and I grabbed him by his shirt and I was like, "If you tell anyone, I swear to God I'll fucking kill you." And he was like, "Okay, okay." I'm pretty sure he peed his pants.
Okay, lady, who are you?
I know. Yeah, I totally scared him half to
I
death.
don't even know you.
And then I took off running to my house, and no one ever found out it was me, and the window got replaced, and I didn't tell anybody until just now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I see. I was a very indoor child, so I don't recall doing anything like major that fucked something up. I mean, I'm sure there were plenty of times that I like ended up blaming my siblings on things that I did, and just waved off as theirs, as any good older brother does. Um, but I really am trying to rack my brain for a specific example of something that like I did that nobody else found out that it was my fault. I don't know. I'll think about that more if we want to move on to your next one, Kelsey.
Yeah.
So, what is something that you're really good at that we might not know about? Like, what's one of your talents?
Well, I mean, Jeff's good at cutting down trees.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm good at a ton of stuff. So like, what do you guys know that I'm good at? And then I'll fill you in on things that you might not know.
Well, I know that you're good at giving Ace a half chub.
Bingo.
Uh,
What else?
I think you just want to stroke your ego right now. Tell me about
Exactly. What else?
what I'm good at.
I mean, I think most of us are relatively good at video games.
Yeah,
Ryan,
I
Ryan, and
play them. I don't
Ryan
know.
and Ryan and me maybe more so than others.
How do you figure?
um, I think just mostly because we play the most out of anybody else. Just
Yeah,
practice
that's
over
true.
time.
I do have a life.
Yeah, you
You got me there.
know.
I mean, I suck at video games, if we can be real.
But that's also because you're relatively new to it, right?
Oh, yeah. And I haven't been playing for a while, so.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I played a video game with you, so I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was the time I got stuck under a bridge.
Oh yeah. It was like, what do you think? How many enemies do you think she killed during that strike? And then you're like, guys, I'm stuck under a bridge. And then I was like, probably less than 7. Or Ryan said, I was like, Ryan, I'll pick a number. You pick higher or lower. And I was like, 7. And then you're like, I can't figure out how to get out from under the stairwell. And he's like, lower. I'm gonna have to go lower. And it was a good bet because it was 2.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I mean, I don't know what other things you're good at other than maybe like shooting and archery, Jeff.
Good at that too. What else?
That's the list of things I know.
That's the list of things you know?
Shooting, video
Okay.
games,
Yeah.
cutting down trees, and
hmm
giving Ace a half chub.
At least a 3/4 chub, but yeah, okay. Well,
Other than that, you're a mystery, Jeff.
I know how to run a backhoe. I'm good at driving a manual. Um, I play guitar. Did you know that?
I did know that. I forgot to
Yeah.
add that
Oh,
one
okay.
in there.
Can you tie knots?
Oh, I can tie hella knots. I can tie so many knots. I think you knew that.
I did know that.
um,
Oh, I know you were
Kirsten,
good
what's
at
something I'm good at that most people don't know?
you were good at the boozing.
I was good at boozing. And good. Like I could drink a lot, but like I couldn't stand up either. Oh, I'm really good at giving Starsky a haircut. How's that?
That's interesting. How do you know that you're
Yeah,
good at that?
because I get out them clippers and I run him around that little weasel, and then he comes out looking like a peach.
Oh,
Oh man. He starts out as a meatball and then he looks like a fuzzy little peach.
Yeah, exactly. Kirsten said that I'm good at keeping her happy, so that's a bold-faced lie.
Hey.
I'm good at detecting when she's bullshitting me. There we go.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that you guys, I think maybe Jeff knows, but I don't think Kelsey knows, is that I played the cello through like from middle school to high school.
Yeah, I
Um,
know that.
and I mean, I'm not like real good, but having no training when I was younger, I mean, I played like 1 year in 5th grade, and then by the end of senior year, I was in like the honors orchestra in my high school, and we went and did like sort of competitions at state events. It was fun. We're pretty good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do you still know how to play it? Like, if you were to pick it up right now, could you play it?
I mean, it's like playing a bike or playing a bike,
It's like
riding a
playing a
bike,
bike.
like riding a bike. I probably needed a couple minutes to get all the hand motions and everything down, but yeah, I'm sure I could pick it back up pretty quickly.
Do it.
What right now?
Yeah. Do you have a cello?
I do. It's just I'm pretty sure one of the strings would snap if I tried to like tune it.
Well, we don't know that.
They haven't been changed in like 4 or 5 years, and you're supposed to change them like every year.
You'd be surprised. I have a 12-string guitar that I've never changed the strings on, and it still works.
Yeah, but it's been in its case in the basement, in a cold basement, for like 2 years, so I'm afraid I'd probably restring it. However, I could potentially play some for you guys at some point. I just need to go get some new strings.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what you good at?
I can sing,
Yeah?
but I don't sing because
Old Man River.
Yeah, I think I remember you singing, and it was pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, my Old Man River impression was really great. I mean, it was better than Reed's of himself just now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
was.
if you put Reed into a bottle that was filled with a magical genie that just made every note sound like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it was magical.
I
That's
believe it.
about how it was.
Yeah.
I'm positive.
So yeah, that's my talent. I can sing, but I just choose not to sing because I don't like singing in front of other people. It makes me really uncomfortable.
I get that.
You know what else makes you uncomfortable? Clowns.
This is true.
You know what else makes you uncomfortable? Furries.
That's also true.
Oh,
What
man.
else makes you uncomfortable? That's a better topic. What makes you uncomfortable?
When we talk about Ace's half chub for you.
Yeah, that was a
You,
little.
you talked about his half chub, you asshole. I didn't talk about it. I know these things.
You
That's just like rule of law. That'd be like saying there's gravity. It's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, but you acknowledged it, so you know.
Well,
We
I'm
did.
not gonna say there's no gravity. Of
You
course
also
there's
did.
gravity.
You also did upgrade it from a half chub to a 3/4 chub.
Let's be accurate if we're talking about Ace's chub.
He's
I
never gonna
mean,
listen to this, which makes me sad. But you know.
He listened to the last one. He listened to the one with Pedro.
Okay, that's improvement.
I know. He's listened to 1 out of 8. So
And he's participated
not
in like
great.
3/4 of one.
Oh yeah. So he might listen. You never know.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but Kelsey,
What else
what else
freaks you
makes you
out?
uncomfortable?
that's about it.
Bullshit.
I'm pretty
Lies.
sure that's it.
Spiders.
Bullshit. Court freaked you out. There you go. There's one I already know you're lying about.
Okay, that dude is fucking creepy. Like, let's just be real. That dude is. There's something wrong with that guy.
Describe Court to read.
Court is a scrawny little guy that is cracked out on something all the time.
Crack.
Probably crack, yeah. And he has like a green faded mohawk. And Jeff will have to do his impression of Court in a minute, but
I'm not good at it.
he looks like a little rat man, kind of like he has a rat face.
I know what you're talking. I understand.
And
Yeah.
he's just creepy. Everything about him is creepy. And he likes kids and likes to give hugs.
Yeah. He's basically an 8th grader from 2002.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, he just got like the big baggy Janko pants that like ICP fans wear. He's rocking around with like those fucking ball bearing necklaces, a shitty mohawk that was dyed about 3 years ago and hasn't been dyed since. I've been smoking every day. Eh? Like, I mean, everybody sounds like Ace when I do an impression. But you know, he's just like cruising around. I'm not talking about skateboarding, guy, but I like to play Pokemon Go. Huh? Can I touch your kids? Yeah, it's a cute dog. Yeah, you want a hug, guy? It's like, no, guy, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. He does talk like that.
Of
He
the
really.
few times that I've gone to lunch with like my dad and his other coworker buddies, one of them we go down to the Park Meadows Mall and eat, and there's a homeless guy. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a little while, but he just sort of roams around in the food court every so often. And one of the coworkers calls him like the soul snatcher. He wears like this leather jacket and just looks really raggedy and just dirty, and his long hair like black and greasy. Um, and he gets visibly like afraid whenever he sees him. I saw him leave the table when this guy like started walking nearby us. He went to the
Your
bathroom
dad did?
no, the coworker. He like stood up and
Oh.
left his food, went to the bathroom to get away for a while, and then came back because he was so disturbed by this homeless guy.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you know. Uh, but if he's gonna snatch your soul, wouldn't it be easier to do it in the bathroom?
That's what I was gonna say. Plus, you're leaving your meal unattended,
Yeah,
dude.
right.
Like that's like roofie rule 101. Don't leave something you're gonna consume unattended, dummy. You got to put your napkin over it because that'll stop him. You ever see girls do that? No, Reed hasn't. He's too widow.
Yeah.
But girls will put like a napkin over their drink and be like, "That'll stop the rapist." No, it
No.
won't.
Um, I have something that makes me uncomfortable that I didn't tell you guys last time because I knew I'm gonna get it's going to be used against me. Um,
Cool.
chimes or like bells and stuff freak me the fuck
Yeah.
out.
Really?
Not like
Why?
seeing them, but the sound really bothers me.
Why?
What?
Like I will freak out.
Why?
I do not know. This was one of the other like irrational fears that I have. And I do not know to this day why. Uh, but like when I played in the pit orchestra, um, which in our high school wasn't actually like a pit underneath the stage. They built up some rickety ass scaffolding that we sat up like 20 feet in the air behind the stage,
Yeah.
and we had like 40 people jam packed into a space that was not like ready for 40 people, let alone all of the instruments involved. But we had like a full set of like chimes, and every single play that we did, the fucking person that played them was just awful and didn't hit the right ones, or like what came out of like off time or off beat and fucked it up and just made it worse. And I panicked every single time she played. Oh fuck! It still gives me like a chills run down my spine. I hate it.
Is it
Brings
more
your
pet,
bells.
is it like a pet peeve? Like it just irritates you?
No.
Or
It's
is
like I'm afraid. Like I
it
genuinely am afraid of. Uh,
Bells.
if I ever see like the wind chimes in like a store, I will leave or like go as far away from those as possible.
You're like a smart guy though. Like you're being an idiot. Could you stop?
I that's the part I don't know. I dealt with it in the pit orchestra because like it was something that I really enjoyed, but it freaks me out.
Huh.
Yeah,
Well, that's weird.
yeah, it is weird, but now I'm gonna be sent like videos of and songs of chimes in the middle of the night.
No, we wouldn't. I mean, if Ace gets a hold of this, that's probably gonna happen.
Well, yeah,
But we have
it's not
we
like
have
you're
too much
gonna be able to
decorum.
forcibly make me listen to it though.
Right. Like how would I make you listen to bells?
Such a dick, Jeff. Uh,
Yay. All right. That was a great time.
oh yeah, it was fun. So,
So,
I have a topic.
what is it?
Because I'm curious if you guys have any good stories about
Okay.
like paranormal encounters or memories that you have that give you the chills or spooky.
Do you?
I get deja vu for like things that are way too specific and odd. Um, and then sometimes, like most recently, I had like a reoccurring dream um, that like a person that I knew was like in a real bad way, and then they were like a week later. Um,
What happened?
uh, they while still in school over the course of like I think it was like 3 days, they had to work 40 hours in their I think it was like some sort of play or whatever, while also still in like classes and stuff, and got really sick and like threw up at like I don't know if it was during one of the shows or whatever, but then was really physically sick like the whole next few days.
Huh.
I don't know. It's weird shit, but yeah, I have deja vu, like remembering phrases that somebody will say in a specific restaurant that I don't recall, and then all of a sudden it'll like happen, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?" I know that there's studies of deja vu just being like a glitch in your brain, like it thinks it recognizes things, but I don't know. I'm I'm religious, but like I wouldn't say I'm very superstitious because I've never had like a paranormal encounter, but I really would like to have one. Um,
Ooh, we could go to
just
Skinwalker Ranch, dude. It's not that far
let's
away.
go, Jeff. We could have taken that. What was it? $20,000, $50,000?
I think it was $100,000, but
Could
again, I will not accept.
could have gone and done a like an episode at Skinwalker Ranch, Jeff.
Wait,
It does
somebody
sound
offered
exciting.
that amount of money to
Yes, and
just
Jeff
Yeah,
turned it down.
I said no.
He wanted $20 or $5
I
or
want
something,
I wanted $20 or nothing, and they
and
offered 100
and
grand, and I said, well, then I guess it's nothing.
he said no. I told him you're a fool.
I
well,
don't
we
get.
do we even know if this person's good for
Oh
that
no,
kind of
it was probably a joke, but I mean, like Jeff still turned it down.
well then I would turn it down too. $20. That was the set.
$20.
Well, that's not nice.
$20 will fill up the Tacoma with a little bit of gas. It'll get us a little ways. As long as there's a good tailwind and we're going downhill, we'll get there. We go over to Skinwalker Ranch and we punk on some demons.
I'm down. Let's go.
I'm down.
I'm not.
Can this be a
But
group
how
I
trip
was gonna say,
sometime?
Kelsey, you're easily afraid of things.
Can we invite Ryan and Ace and you, Jeff, and we can all go down to Skinwalker Ranch together?
We could invite them, but I've been on a road trip with Ace and Ryan, and let's not.
Just me and you?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, just
Oh
being
no,
you.
I don't like that. All right.
Oh, come on, we'll have fun. We'll get gushers.
No, that's too much sugar, Jeff.
oh
No,
that
it's just the right
that's something
amount.
I don't like. That's another
What?
thing that really freaks me out. Thing this is gonna sound really bad, but things that like gush in your mouth.
Yeah, okay.
Like those like those Ferrero Rocher like
Oh, the
chocolate.
Ferrero.
chocolates that have like the gooey center.
Yes, and when you bite into them, if they squirt, oh god, I
Oh,
can't
that's I love that.
even.
Whoa.
The the what are they? The popsicle? No, not popsicles. Lollipops that have like the chewy center as well. Does that freak you out, or is it just if it's like
No, it's
more
just like
liquidy?
if it like pops or squirts in your mouth. I can't do those.
Oh my
What
god.
Does it just make you think that you're eating something like an eyeball?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's maybe it's a texture thing, but it just really nope. I can't.
Well, like okay, for example, I know that there's people that like are afraid of ketchup, right? And the psychology behind that is that it for some reason their brain just associates it with like blood, so it makes them freak out. The only thing I could assume with yours is that maybe you thinking you're eating like something real gross, like an eyeball, or
Say it's like a phobia. It's something like a texture thing.
so you just dislike it.
Yeah, I just really, really dislike it. But
Okay,
I'm
well
not like
you said it freaked you
bitter.
out, so
Why
that's why I thought it was more of like a fear sort of
why
thing.
aren't you guys afraid of the dumbest shit? I'm afraid of cancer, drunks on the road, fucking mountain lions. Why are you guys afraid of clowns and things that go in your mouth?
Because you know what? It gives us something to talk about.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Also,
Fair enough.
that's why they're called irrational, Jeff. Because they don't make sense.
Ugh.
Apparently, you're just too rational, Jeff.
I'm afraid of home invasions
Well, I mean, that's
and
reasonable.
wildfires.
Yeah, that's also reasonable.
I'm not freaked out by idiots who walk around Old Town Arvada in a fucking rabbit costume. I really, really want to jump on their, like, not really jump on their back, come up behind them, right? And just twist their neck, like, like you're an action movie star, like breaking the neck of a guy, but just twist their stupid, like, furry head around backwards and then kick him in the ass. God, it's a dream.
That's a pretty good dream, Jeff.
I want to do it so bad.
Flip around their
I
helmet
also,
and kick them on the ground.
yeah, flip that bitch 180 and then give him a kick in the ass. Now, I don't want to kick him on the ground. I assume that the kick in the ass will make them stumble and fall to the ground. Oh, you know what? Even better. Get Kirsten to go and like duck down in front of them so that when I kick them in the ass, they will undoubtedly fall down. Now that's a fucking plan.
The old 1-2.
Another thing I want to kick, a goose.
Why do you want to kick a goose?
You ever been around a goose and it's been a real bitch to you and it's
What?
like hissing and like chasing you and you were like a kid or whatever? You've never had that experience?
No, I have not.
I
Well,
have.
thank you. It's a common thing. It happens. Geese are dicks.
Don't fuck around with
But I
geese
don't want to
then.
kick. Well, I was just hanging out next to a pond being 5. What the hell am I going to do? Anyway, geese have been tried to mess with me. That wasn't very often, but still. Now, I don't want to just punt any goose. The goose has to ask for it. Like, if the goose is being cool, then we're cool. But if this goose is going to hiss and puff up, I just want to punt it and be like, I'm higher on the food chain, motherfucker. You get lost. You get your ass back to Canada, you illegal bitch.
Oh, wow.
So that's another dream of mine.
I mean, hey.
That reminds me. I think I brought this up on the. Speaking of kicking, you ever kick a dude while he's peeing at the urinal?
No, I didn't because I'm not an ass.
Well, that answers your question. Yeah, I've done it. It's really funny because what are they gonna do? Their dicks in their hands. What are they gonna chase you? They're too busy trying to make sure they don't pee on their own pants. The look on their faces.
Oh man.
But bullying is wrong unless the kid's a dick. Then
We had homeroom classes in high school, and we like stuck with the same teacher every year. My senior year teacher for homeroom would like let us do whatever, like even if the school had like a specific video we were required to watch during that like 45 minutes or whatever. She didn't give a fuck. They like sent out an email to her or something that we were supposed to watch some anti-bullying video or whatever. She goes, they said we were supposed to watch some video on bullying, and she goes, you guys already know how to do that. I don't need to teach you how to bully people. Let's just, you guys do whatever you want to. I like
So
that
here's
teacher a
another
lot.
good one. You come up behind a kid who's not paying attention, like out on recess or whatever, right? And you grab them by the ankles from behind, right? Because always that's where you. That's the surprise and surprise
Get
attack.
them when they're weak. Yeah, uh-huh.
You get it, Reed. So anyway,
That's lesson 1 in the bullying textbook is get them when they're down. Get them when they're most vulnerable.
they're facing the other way. Whenever you come up, you grab them by the ankles and you pull back as hard and as quick as you can, so that they just like a plank just fall over face first. That's a great one.
Why were you such an awful child?
I don't know.
kicking people's kicking people into urinals so that they can piss on themselves and yanking
Dude,
kids down.
I tell people, like, I tell Ace, and he doesn't believe me. I'm like, no, dude, I'm scrappy. He's like, oh, okay, whatever, you puffball. And he makes fun of me for wearing, like, a vest that's made for a little kid. But I tell you, yeah.
I mean, there's a difference
I
between
had some
being
good times.
There's a difference between being scrappy and just sneak attacking people and kicking them in the ass when they're pissing.
Well, here's the thing there, buddy. When the person whose ankles I just whipped out from under them, when they got back up, you think they were pissed or not?
Very
There was some
pissed.
confrontation.
Yeah, yeah. I would assume that they have every right to be pissed, Jeff.
I got a good story about a time I kicked a dude in the chest. 2 stories, actually. Now that I think about it, I've kicked a dude in the chest twice. You want to hear them?
Yeah, sure, Jeff. Why not?
All right. So there used to be in high school this, like in the morning, whatever. Like if it was an even day, that you wouldn't have a class early. It would just be like access period or whatever, and you just get to roam around the school and cause trouble,
Hmm.
which I did. So we'd be hanging out in the cafeteria or whatever, and this dude named Tim fucking grabs my sunglasses and is just like, "Okay, bye," and he just starts like fucking leaving the cafeteria with my sunglasses in hand. And
Hmm.
I'm like, what is this? And he's like a really tall dude. Like I don't know what I was thinking this day because he could have taken me down pretty good. But I was like, no, dude. Like it's kind of like prison. You can't let him fuck with you. You got to go all out in terms of repercussion. So I did. So I go out into the lobby, which is where he's currently strolling across. He's got his backpack on. You know how like a Jan Sport backpack has like that little handle on the top?
Yeah.
I grab that handle and I put all my weight down on it. I basically just like hang from it, which
Just dead
rips
weighted
him
him.
down to the ground, right? And his hands go out like Jesus on the cross, and in his one hand is my sunglasses. So I put my heel like right onto his wrist, like the inside of his wrist, and I just press on it and step on it, and then he like opens his hand, and I was like, thanks. So I grab my glasses back. I start walking back to the cafeteria, and you have to open a door, right? And I hear footsteps behind me, and they're coming quick. It's just like thump, 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 thump. I look behind me. He's running at me full speed. So I'm at the door, and I just put my leg up about chest height on him, and he runs right into my leg
Oof.
and just goes down like a ton of bricks. It's great.
Jesus. Oh
It's
man.
fantastic. Another time is when I was in my first year of college, and there was this kid named Ben, and Ben didn't like me because we had public speaking together, and it was a college of like 60 fucking kids. So like most of us all had the same public, you either had one public speaking class or
Or
the
you were in
other
the
one.
other one.
And yeah, so me and Ben were in it together, and like we had to do a thing where it's like just talk about something that you know and explain it to him.
Hmm.
What's oh your brother said you have kick piss man. What the fuck? Anyway, so you just had to explain something. So there's like 3 girls that go to that school, and one of them is like, here's how a snowboarder guy can hit on a snowboarder girl. And so I opened up my binder, like my notebook, and I wrote notes on it really big and underlined the word notes on a page of paper, and I put it right in front of Ben. Just like implying to Ben, like, take notes. Dude hated me after that, and he would get fucking wasted like 3 nights a week and want to come down to Jeff room to fight. So all of a sudden it would be like, like midnight, and you just hear like boom, boom, boom. And I look at like the little peephole, and it's fucking Ben standing there like rocking back and forth. And here's the thing. Ben could take. He was tall, but he was scrawny, and he's just a fucking idiot from Iowa. But Ben was hanging out with this dude named Bean, who was like a year older than all of us, and he was from fucking. His name was Bean because he went to fucking Boston or whatever. He was a little shit brick house, and that motherfucking Bean was always hanging out with Ben because Bean wanted to kick my ass too.
What did you
You've
do to
heard stories about
Bean?
me. I didn't really do anything to Bean. I don't know. Like I was just kind of like a drunk because that was like a prime drinking time for me. So I don't really recall doing anything specifically to him. I just think he wanted to get into it with me. A lot of dudes up there didn't like me because, like I said, there was 3 chicks and I was dating one of them. So
Oof.
Um, so anyway, Ben's out there wobbling, and I can see in the peephole that Bean is like just around the corner, like from the door or whatever. But Ben's just standing there. So I rip open the door real quick, and I punt Ben in the chest.
And then slam the door.
Nailed it. Yeah, so he flies across the hall and slams into the guy across the hall's dorm room who was named Wisconsin because he was from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
And he was very confused as to why drunk Ben was like laid out. And I just slammed the door, and then they just kept knocking, like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh man. You got up to some shit, Jeff, didn't you?
I got up to some shit. I'll have to tell you about the 2 other times I supposedly stabbed somebody. I'll save that for another podcast.
Okay. Alrighty then. Moving
Well, tell
on.
us about the time you saved somebody. I want to hear that story.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'll tell a nice story. So okay, I'm less of a dick now. I don't
Oh,
I don't punt many people in chest, and I only think about wanting to harass furries. I don't actually go through with it yet. There's still a glimmer like in
there's
my
still
eye whenever I
there's
look
still
at them. You can
chances, you
see
know.
that little glint of like, oh, he could do it. Um, so we were climbing Uncompadre, and it's like an easy hike. It's like 7 miles, but like you get to the very end, and there is a part that it didn't never say online that it was like a class 3, which class 3 is like you have to use your hands and your feet, and you're on like loose rock. But it definitely was. It was like really steep, and all the rock was just like just shifting from underneath you. And so me and
Ew.
Kirsten are going up it. Yeah. So me and Kirsten get up it, but like right before we started that section, there were these 2 ladies waiting for these 2 dudes. Like they're older. They were like 40s or 50s. And the ladies were like, "Oh, hey, like, oh, you guys can go around us. We're just waiting for those 2 guys." And we're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Like, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to fucking walk. Um, but we start going up, and then they start coming up, and they were trying to follow our path of which way we went because they weren't sure, so they were kind of following right behind us. So I was in front, then Kirsten was behind me, and then like a little bit of a gap, and then the 2 ladies. And one of the ladies goes up on like this mound of rocks that she like had to like get on her hands and knees and like pull herself up to it. It was kind of like not quite a ledge, but anyway, it all just starts to crumble underneath her. And now she's like stuck in this weird position. And every time she moves, she's kicking rocks down like at her friends or whatever. And she just starts freaking out. And she's just saying, like, this was a bad move. This was a bad call. Rocks are loose. Rocks are loose. She's just like saying like this weird shit over and over of like stuff that kind of makes sense, but it's like, oh, she's panicking.
Yeah.
So I'm above Kirsten, and then there's like a gap, and then there's her. So I was like, hang on. So I like push Kirsten aside a little bit, and I jump down there, and I'm like, yo, grab my hand. And she's just like, loose rocks. I'm like, yo, hand. And so she grabs like my hand or whatever, and I just go to pull her up, and she was big, she was heavy, and so I'm like, oh shit. She pulls me forward, but I just like I sit down on my heels, and I'm like, okay, we can do this, and I just like kind of yanked her up off of like the loose rock or whatever, and she was, oh my god, thank you. Like, hey, you saved me. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So then we went up. I was like, do you guys need help the rest of the way? And they're like, no, we got it. Oh, and then so we're heading up this like little part or whatever, and there's a group of people who are coming down, but they're gonna wait for us to come up before they go down so that we don't cause rocks. But one of them's in the way of Kirsten, who's now like about to finish the section, and the guy, she's like, could you kind of? And so the guy gets up to move, boots a rock, and it immediately starts flying down the hill towards these people, and I reached out and fucking snatched it out of the air. Fucking epic. And they were like, oh, nice catch. And I was like, hell yeah, it was. I suck at catching, and it was with my left hand. Boosh.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got to the top, and they were just like all excited about being at the top, and they're like, thanks a bunch. And I was like, yeah, no worries.
Jeff's like, yeah.
But that's not the only time I saved somebody. I saved my mom when she was choking on some pineapple. It was just me and her. She's eating pineapple, and all of a sudden she's like, ah. And I'm like, you choking? She's like, ah. So I just like gave her a Heimlich, and boof, it came out, and she's like, oh. And I was like, there we go. Now we're even. You gave me life, I gave you life. We're square.
We're square. My life debt is paid.
And then there was one other I can remember when I was like in middle school. We'd go play at this irrigation ditch. Like it was a train, like the train tracks go over the farmers, like the Highline Canal, which is a big fucking canal that goes through Arvada.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we're just like, like tweens hanging out there at a train track bridge with a high flowing channel going next to it of water. My parents, like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, paid it. Like, they'd give it. Like, we were up there with BB guns, CO2 guns, slingshots. I made a rope out of yarn I braided that we would scale the wall of the fucking train track bridge with a yarn I braided like a cowboy, but with yarn. Fucking come on. Like, where was child services? Anyway, I'm I'm up there with this dude named Ryan, and like underneath the train track bridge, like you can stand next to the irrigation ditch, and like I've never seen it this full since then. Like even now when I drive over it, it's like it's never been as high as it was this year. this one year in question, but like Ryan's standing next to it. There's like a little part where it's like the size of a big beach ball. It kind of like dips in a little extra, and he's standing there kind of like kicking at it, and then he just like falls in, and he goes like immediately up to his chest in water, and he's just got his two hands like if you were doing like a dip, like like on a dip bar, like that exercise. He's just got his two hands like up there, and he's like trying to pull himself out, but he doesn't have any traction to do so. So he's just kind of like freaking out, and I just like kind of like grabbed underneath his arms and just pulled him out of the water, and he was like, "Damn," and I was like, "Yeah, damn," like you almost got swept the fuck away. Plus, he was way bigger than me too. I don't know where it came from. Like I was not a very strong kid, but I pulled him out of the fucking irrigation ditch.
It's that superhuman strength that Kelsey had that one time.
It must be.
Yeah, it's the
Ryan was
adrenaline.
weird. He had these two golden retrievers that got out of his house like every fucking day, and he had a lisp, and so they were named Bonnie and Shasta, but he'd be running around the neighborhood, be like, Bonnie, Shasta. It's fucking weird. He had like an English accent for no fucking reason. The last thing, and he was like my neighbor. The last thing I remember, because he was a year older than me, is like he was walking home from 8th grade. I was walking home from 7th grade, and he had like a CD player, and he was listening to something. He's like, "Yo, you should listen to this music." And I was like, "What?" And he put it like I listened to it in his earphone, and it was like fucking sex noises. And I was like, "Dude, you're fucking
Incredible.
off." You know that, right? Weird. Anyway, he moved. There you
Back to
go.
Britain, apparently.
He went there from Britain. Like, he just had this weird list that was like semi-British. So we'd always make fun of him, like my parents included, just him being in the neighborhood, be like, Bonnie, Shasta. So fucking weird.
Nice.
Reed, you ever save somebody?
I've been thinking, there was one time, it wasn't like anything incredible, but we were driving around in four-wheelers. One of my sister's friends, like their house or whatever, and they also had an older sister that I knew of. I wouldn't necessarily say we were friends, um, but we were hanging out around their property, and we were sort of weaving in between the trees with the four-wheelers, and we had way too many kids packed onto this one four-wheeler, and the
Dude, note
person
to self, never let my kids on a four-wheeler. Jeez.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
we were driving around, and the girl that was driving it, instead of like cutting between two of the trees, went towards and around one of them, but way too close to a barbed wire fence. While
Uh-oh.
children are all on this four wheeler, um, and it like started to tip because the ground was uneven, um, and I managed to like stop it from rolling into the barbed wire fence with, I think there were probably like 5 or 6 of us on it, maybe. Um, small kids and a couple, like 2 big kids, and it started rolling, and that would have been bad news for all the kids on the back of the four wheeler, like falling straight into the barbed wire fences. But because I was one of the larger kids that noticed what was going on, I like leaned all of my weight back into the four wheeler and managed to keep it on the ground. But we stopped it right there and got all of the rest of the children off of it.
Nice.
I was like, "Yep, we're not
Jeez.
doing that anymore."
Yeah, four-wheelers are a no-no.
Do Kelsey, do you have one?
Yeah, Kelsey, you ever save somebody?
Yeah, but I already shared that on the pod the time that.
Right.
You don't have multiple examples like me?
No, I don't.
Damn, dude.
I know. I know. I guess I'm.
You ever
Not
stabbed
a-
anybody?
Have I ever stabbed somebody?
Yeah.
No, I can't say that I have.
I have twice, but one of them was an alleged stabbing.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Just
So
remind
are
me.
you gonna
Oh, you
tell
guys
me?
wanted to hear the story about Carol.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, like, after we got married, we went up to the Maroon Bells and we had Ace and Ryan with us. And, like, we got there early. And we've been there before, so we know what to do. So you, like, go up to the top of you drive on the outside on a road to the top of the parking lot. You turn left and loop 180 to go back down the parking lot to, like, find parking. And so we're going down the parking lot, and I see a ranger like with a car pulled over, and they're talking to the car. And I'm like, okay, well, I know where to go. I don't need to talk to a ranger to figure out how this all works. So I'm just gonna go around you. And this old bitch pops around the car she's talking to like a bat out of hell with her hand out, like, hey, you stop, you wait your turn. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, man. Isn't it great to get to out in the nature, like, where the fucking man isn't hassling you? Gotta love national parks.
I'm being hassled by the man.
Being hassled by some bitch with a flat hat. So she comes over and she's like, what's she's like, and I was like, let me guess. The lot is full because I have eyes and I know where the overflow parking is. I've been here before. And so she comes walking over. She's like, are you looking for parking? I'm like, yeah, and I was like, the lot's full, right? So we have to go to overflow. She's like, yeah, you do. You have to go to overflow. And I was like, cool, thanks. Then just drove off and went and parked. And it's just like, okay, whatever, you dick. So then we come like walking back earlier, or we go walking to the Maroon Bells, and we walk through the parking lot, and I'm bitching about her loudly as I do, and there she is. She pops in between two cars, and she's just like looking at me. It's like, I'm like, this bitch, I know what I'm doing. She fucking thinks she's all tough shit. Like she's that bitch that nobody wants to work with. So like, you go and you did it, and there she was, and I was like, okay. So we go and mess around at the Room Bells for a little bit, and then we're walking back through the parking lot, and we see the same lady still hanging out like 4 hours later, but she's got a rake, right? And she's in this like kind of a picnicky area, like a trail area, and she's just and it's fall, mind you, so leaves are falling. There's a lot of aspens in Aspen that had leaves falling off them. She's got this fucking metal rake, and she's just raking the fucking leaves in a forest in the fall. What the fuck are you doing? And that's when it all clicked. She must be that bitch that nobody likes to work with. But they have to because she's like a year away from retirement, so they can't like shit can her. They're just like, let's just write it out and get rid of her. And they're like, okay, we gotta find any job for her to just get her away from the public and away from us. So hey,
Here,
Carol, why don't you
take
go
this
rake the
broom.
leaves for a little bit? And she's like, ah, okay. And then she's just out there just raking the leaves. And as we're walking past, like there's a slight breeze in the air, and it's just making a shower of golden leaves just fall everywhere around her. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Raking leaves in the forest. Like that is the ultimate. Just like, hey, why don't you go fuck off for a little bit? Like, why don't you go rake some leaves in the forest, Carol?
Wouldn't it be so much better though if she had a leaf blower and it just just
You're
adding to
just
the
trying to
wind?
be you're just trying to be out in nature and enjoy yourself. And this is where you park, bitch. It's like, you are the worst.
Oh man. I wish
So
I was
yeah,
there for that. Oh.
that's the story about Carol. The best is
What
just me just ranting about this lady, and then there she is. And
her
that shit happens to
being
me all
all
the
the
time.
time? Yeah.
I'm always bitching about somebody at like a restaurant or something as we're leaving, and then they're just like on their smoke break, and it's just like, oh hey,
Oh hey, oh yeah, I did.
what's up? Yeah, you're the one I'm talking about. You were there.
What is the place that you guys went to? Because I don't know what it is.
The Maroon Bells.
Like
Oh,
describe what it is, because I don't know what it is.
What?
type into Google the Maroon
What?
Bells real
Give
quick, and
me.
then you'll go,
They're the
oh,
most they're the most famous mountains in Colorado. Like,
The Maroon Bells?
yes.
yeah.
I've sent you pictures of them hundreds of times.
Like if you if you just look up mountains in Colorado, guaranteed Maroon
They're
Bells
probably the
So
first one.
pop.
so it was the picture that you sent that we used in the last video.
Probably. Was it the winter one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we've snowmobiled there. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. We've been there a ton. I know what I'm fucking doing, Carol. I know where to park the goddamn car.
that's
If there's no
gorgeous.
spots over here, you go to the overflow. Yeah. I
Yeah,
get it.
I've never been up there. Uh,
It's cool, man.
I
It's definitely worth it.
didn't know that was a thing.
You've seen it. Like every time you go to King Supers or First Bank,
Yeah. No, I recognize the mountain structure. I just again didn't really know like the name.
they're so fucking janky. Like to climb them, they're made out of mudstone, so everything on there just breaks and falls off. Like while we
Ugh.
were climbing up to Buckskin Pass, which is like if you're looking at the Maroon Bells to the right of it, like there's a pass way up there. And like we heard like all of a sudden it sounded like a gunshot in the distance, and then it was like gunshot, gunshot, and it just like kept going. It's like, oh, it's a rock, and it was just a rock falling off of it.
I mean, people die there like all the time.
I don't know about all the time, but yeah, they do. They're called the Dudley Bells. Let's see. Maroon bells climbing death.
You're a loud clicker like Ryan.
It's this keyboard. It's the Mac one. Its keys are shallow as hell. What's up with the Deadly Bells? We might have to look into this a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Because I think the people who attempt it are more skilled because like 2 people a year die on Long's Peak, usually on average. But it's always somebody from out of town who like comes, like, watch, okay, we're actually in the prime season. The first snow that's gonna happen on Long's Peak, I bet you somebody from out of town will go missing. Just wait. So like when's the next storm system coming in? Because the next storm system should be like the last good day to climb Maroon Bells or Long's Peak should be like right before that. Because once it gets snow, it's so high, it just stays snowy and then it's just done for the season. So yeah, I'll guarantee you, watch, somebody from Jersey will go missing.
I'm trying to
Well,
think. I'm going up to not Glenwood Springs. Is it Idaho Springs?
I don't know. What
I
did you
think
do?
no, we're going up this weekend. I think Idaho Springs is where we're going. That's in the mountains, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say? Idaho Springs is
Yeah.
what?
That's a place in the mountains, yeah.
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 It's not very far up the mountains, but yeah, they have a big old waterfall and like a water wheel
Yeah, that's where we're going.
and Bojo's Pizza.
Yep, we're gonna go out there. I don't know what we're gonna do, but probably go look at some of the shops and stuff, and it's fun.
Cool.
Just thought I'd throw in my mountain trip, discuss it.
That'll be fun. Well, I don't know. It's just like that's not really
No, I know.
like Idaho Springs is okay.
No, well, because I told you guys in our chat like that we'd go up to Georgetown every year,
Georgetown. Yeah.
and go up there, and we haven't been on the Georgetown Loop in a while, but it's fun. I mean, I didn't realize how expensive it was when I was telling Kelsey to go, but
That's not so bad, Kelsey. Come on, put up some cash. Ride a
it's
I
train.
mean,
it's
it's
cool.
only it's like $30 a person, and for a family of 4, that's ridiculous. I was
Sometimes you
like,
gotta
okay.
pay to enjoy.
I'm like, maybe we'll do that for Christmas or something really special, like when we have guests over.
Yeah,
I don't
But
think they run it in
yeah.
the winter.
I don't think they
yeah,
run it
they
in the
do.
winter.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
they
They
do?
have a Santa. Yeah, they have a Santa's workshop. They run it all year.
That'd be
Huh.
actually okay.
Well,
Then that would be cool. Going
Yeah,
across
it's
the
they have the what is that kids? Oh, the Polar Express.
yeah,
They do the Polar Express, and you get to go to Santa's workshop that they like deck out of one of the mines.
that's pretty
yeah.
sweet.
And they light it all up. Like I looked into this because I'm interested in going for something special like that. And they serve you like hot chocolate.
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty
Going
awesome. So I was
going
like,
across that
yeah,
bridge would be really cool in the snow. Like to see the ravine and everything all covered in nice snow would be awesome.
yeah. But I'm not gonna do that just for any old thing. Like, because it's the same price.
But it's fall, Kelsey, and the leaves are changing, and it's pretty.
Yeah, but I can drive in my own car and listen
But
to my
you don't.
music. What?
You didn't. You were like,
Well,
oh, we're gonna go, and then you didn't. You put.
I'm going this weekend for realsies.
For
All
realsies.
right.
For
I'll
realsies.
believe
All
it when I
right.
see it, Kelsey.
Believe it
Okay,
when I see it.
it's happening.
All
When I
right.
see them pictures. Where are you
How
gonna
is
even go? You
how
don't
is
even know.
your fruit?
I want to go to the Peak to Peak Highway. I'll be up in your neck of the woods.
Dude, I was gonna say to you, Reed, if you're just going up to Idaho Springs to just like check out shops, you might want to try Netherland.
Net. Say that again.
Netherland.
Netherland.
Nederland. It's just a little slightly less crowded place. It's kind of close. You drive past my house basically to get to it.
All right.
Maybe. Depends on which way you go.
I'll write it down. I'll see if that's possible.
It might be cool. Just if you've been to Idaho Springs and you already like know,
Yeah,
Netherlands kind of cool. They have like a cool pizza shop. They have a cool barbecue place.
yeah.
They have a gem shop that's weird.
I'll propose it to my mom. My sister loves that shit. She's a fucking hippie.
Yeah, then she like Netherlands. It's
Yeah,
like a hippier version of Idaho Springs.
of Idaho Springs. All right,
Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
See what they think.
Yeah.
But you'll have fun.
Okay.
The leaves should be turning. They were like mainly turning a little bit higher up than Idaho Springs, but we'll see.
Kelsey, how was your
You're going
berry
this weekend?
adventure? Yeah, we're going this weekend. Kelsey,
What?
how was your berry adventure?
Oh, super fun.
How many berries
It,
did you get?
um, we just filled up like a little pint.
Okay.
So they give you a cup. You have to pay for the cup, and you can't bring your own cup. Like if you're gonna go pick berries, you have to get their
Special berry
cup.
cup.
Yeah,
BYOC.
yeah,
Not allowed.
yep. So I paid $6, and we got to ride a hayride out to the berry patches, and they had strawberries and white raspberries, which is what we picked, and then they had like regular raspberries. They had like a whole area of flowers that you could pick. Um, and then they had this really huge pig that was named Miss Piggy,
Yeah.
and it was so gross. That pig was disgusting, and it was like burrowing down into the mud, and then it like got up and bit my son's shoe because he was standing on the railing, so it bit his
Uh,
shoe. Just sat there, giggled his face off, and then
like
there was
I'm glad he had fun, but like legit, pigs will eat people. So
they're creepy, and they have really gross teeth too. Um, but anyway, so then there was a little girl next to my son who had like those jelly shoes on. Do you guys
mhm.
remember those when those were popular? They're like clear shoes.
Yeah, with like the kinda. No, actually I don't.
They're kind of like a lattice design, and they're usually clear or like purple, and they're like a clear purple color or pink or whatever. Anyways, they were
Uh-huh.
really popular when we were kids, but now
Well, speak for yourself. When you were a kid, you ancient one.
listen, listen here. I'm only a year older than you. That's not even fair. But
I mean,
I mean, to me, you're
anyway,
like a dinosaur.
this
anyway.
this girl was wearing these like little sandals, and the pig bit her foot too, and
Uh,
she was just pissed. She was like, "Ah, that pig bit me." She was like all mad, and my son was just laughing, like he thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And then they had this like play tractor you could play in, and crafts, and a rock climbing shed, which was weird because it was like literally the walls of the shed had all these like rock climbing rocks all over it. And
That's fun.
they had
yeah.
chickens that the kids were chasing all over the place. Corbin especially was chasing the chickens all over. And I just let him go. I was like, "Bye, have
Did,
fun."
did I tell you guys I
And
went? Oh, sorry.
yeah, so it was really fun. There was a lot of stuff to do, and it was only $6 for the whole time. And then I got sunburned at the end of fall.
If
Well, yeah, the sun is still bright. It's not any less bright because it's the end of fall.
I mean,
the
or
clouds,
the
Jeff.
fall, I guess, is what it
There,
technically
there's no
felt.
there's no clouds out today.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what were you gonna say, Reed?
Did I tell you guys that I went to an aquarium and pet chickens there?
Which aquarium?
It's called like, is it Sequest? It was in a mall. Yeah, it was. I think it's in like the Littleton Mall or something like this. It was interesting. It definitely did not feel like a aquarium because there were non-fish there, like savannah cats and like birds and iguanas, and as I said, chickens that they let us pet. Uh, it was
That's
interesting,
well,
that's
they
for
say that
sure.
tuna's the chicken of the sea, so maybe that's what they were going for.
Oh
Did it at
yeah,
least have like a
yeah.
cardboard fin taped to the back of the chicken?
No, no, there's no chickens.
I mean, the
That's
Denver
awesome.
aquarium has tigers,
Yeah, that's true.
which is me.
Yeah, it's in Littleton. But yeah, I went for Jess's birthday actually. It was Shay, Jess, and Jess's best friend, and me.
She's still pissed at me.
I think she just wants an apology from you.
It's not gonna fucking happen.
I
What is with
understand.
your generation
I
wanting
understand that.
apologies from Jeff? Jesus Christ, I've
just,
had enough.
just we all want apologies from Jeff.
What did you?
Everybody is like, oh, I made fun of her art degree.
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from you.
Right?
Yeah.
See?
But okay.
All she, what the fuck does she care about my opinion? Just tell me to fuck off. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, it's not that hard.
I mean,
Shut up, you old bitch.
That's what she's doing though, Jeff. Is just fuck off.
But
'Cause
that
she's
doesn't
doing
mean
her
that
own
you have
thing.
to take your ball and go home. Like, that's just being a pansy. Like, believe it or not, the world is full of adversity. People will disagree with you and say that you're dumb.
Yeah.
Either
Well,
accept their criticism and work on yourself, or
that's what I
say,
tried to tell
fuck
her
you.
too. Is I was like, he's not going to be the last person to make fun of the fact that you're getting an art degree.
No,
So,
at least I had the honor to do it to your face. I don't do it behind your back.
Well, no, but
I'll tell you.
so that's the difference though. It's like she wasn't on here to defend herself.
Oh, well,
When you were
come on and
making fun
defend
of it.
yourself. Put her on now.
I did try to delay you so that we could talk about it when she came back on, and then you kept going. So, but yeah.
Well, you fucked up. You can't wrangle me. Don't act like you can.
Well, I tried. But yeah. So chickens at the aquarium. It was great. I had a lot of fun. And I believe Jess is really into like marine biology and stuff. So, yeah.
That's another waste of a degree.
No. She's not getting a degree in marine biology. I told you this already. She's getting a
step up from art.
She's getting a graphic design degree.
I mean, I was being nice when I was like, oh, okay, well, at least that's something. But like, literally, Kirsten knows 2 graphic design artists, and they can't find work for shit. So she's teaching goat yoga.
Yeah, there's plenty of the
Doing
guys
graphic
that
design?
work.
Ah, shit. Kirsten just said that they both have jobs doing graphic design. Well, fuck.
Well, there goes your
She said they don't
theory.
make a lot, but they do have jobs.
I mean, I do know there were quite a few guys that worked in the warehouse that I'm at that like got jobs as manual labor workers that like had graphic design degrees, and it's like.
So Kirsten is doing work and watching a documentary about R. Kelly being a bastard man.
Yeah.
But she has time to take out her earbud and go, actually, Jeff, you're wrong.
Oh yeah, what else?
Thanks. Go back to your rape documentary, please.
That's.
She's just looking at me like, what the fuck?
It's joy in life, right, Jeff? It's just like you kicking people in the ass when they're pissing. She gets to shut you down when you're wrong, right?
All right. That's called karma, I guess.
Yeah, she's got to take those opportunities where she can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was another good podcast. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for listening, everybody. You can find all of our stuff on YouTube at the IronWolfpack. At Twitch under the _IronWolfpack. The Reddit has a dash in between, and the Twitter is all one word.
At the Iron Wolfpack. And we're now on Spotify, just the space Iron Wolfpack. And it'll come up. You'll see a picture of a buffalo. I might change it to the wolf. Haven't decided, but follow us there.
And all of our stuff should be coming to iTunes and all the other podcasting apps shortly.
Hopefully.
Right? Yeah.
Unless they tell us to get the fuck out of here, then no. But if they say yes, then yes. Apparently Spotify gives no fucks. I was approved in no time. They're like, oh, you want on Spotify? Yeah, you're on. What do you want to put up here? I was like, cool.
Slap that shit on there. All right.
Exactly.
Have a good